Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everyone is having a decent weekend at least. As for me personally, last night was a lot of fun. Let's see, what did we do? Well, I should do some of my low and high night of kindness. Actually, my low is the fact that it rained. It's actually supposed to rain for like the entire week. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a little bit nervous because like the city of Elmira is gonna do like a giant Cinco de Mayo party next Friday. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say it. This is the last Saturday in the month of April. I completely forgot to do the whole last day of the month thing. It's no wonder why things have felt kind of off. I never did that, huh? Well, better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, after tomorrow, we are in the month of May. And it will be less than 4 weeks until I gaze upon the waters of Hugo Lake again. It'll be soon. It'll be very soon. But, it's interesting. I was actually kind of worried about this weekend in general, and I'll tell you why. Because I really didn't think this weekend was going to be very eventful, but last night turned out to be already very eventful. Because for the first time since, and this is my high, by the way, for the first time since we celebrated my grandparents' 70th wedding anniversary, my parents and I went to the Corning Country Club for dinner. And come to think of it, I don't think we went to the country club for dinner at all in 2022. Which is another reason why I think everything just felt so off. Because usually we're pretty on the ball with going at least once for dinner. But no. Like the church gala with silent and live auctions last May, and my grandparents' 70th wedding anniversary. Those are the only 2 times we went to the club last year. I think we'll probably do a better job at going. We can only hope so. But yeah, I went for dinner. And I have to tell you about the Corning Country Club that always really, because here's the thing. It's a country club. Obviously not everyone can go, which, that's how country clubs work. By the way, if anyone's wondering, to my knowledge, like, anyone can join. Like, this is one of those, like that one, like, remember that one episode of the Golden Girls where, they wouldn't let one of Dorothy's friends go because, like, I believe the person that she was inviting was Jewish, but, like, they don't allow Jews in that country club. Like, I don't think the Corning Country Club works that way, to my knowledge. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, look, we live in better times. I would hope at least the Corning Country Club is all-inclusive. I hope so. Wait, is it inclusive or exclusive? No, it's inclusive, yeah. It's in, not X. Got it. My point is, I think anyone can join. I think you gotta, like, ask or something. I don't know. My folks have been members for pretty much my entire life, and we've been going monthly as best we can for about as long. In fact, I remember when the Corning Country Club was only like a single-story building, and they legit revamped the place. So like 2 stories, you can have like parties up there, receptions, rehearsal dinners, celebrate, like literally anything you can think of, the Corning Country Club can do. So, in fact, a few friends have had either parties or bridal showers or even wedding receptions up there too. So, yeah, you can totally do it. But naturally, my act of kindness was inviting my parents to see Are You There, God with It's Me, Margaret again, which I absolutely had to do because, for those of you who don't know, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret takes place in 1970. which honestly the age of the main characters in the movie, Margaret and Nancy and Gretchen and all the other kids, like my parents were that age. I'll tell you about that story in a second, but the Corny Country Club first. Good morning, happy Saturday. This has been going on for a long time with the Corny Country Club, to the point where I swear they do this on purpose to torment me. They change their menu constantly. Like, it's rare that I see the same menu more than once. Like, one of the only times that happened was like, there was only 6 items on the menu, and there was only one beef-related dish. Honestly, at that point, I was better off ordering the lamb chops. Oh, the lamb chops were good. Like, rack of lamb, rack of lambs. Oh, that was good. Those are good. And look, it was either that or like an 8-ounce filet, and to be perfectly honest, I think the lamb chops might have been more food. Go figure. But seriously, like, I just posted on social media what the meal I had was like. It is quite possible the meal you see in those photos will be the only time I have that. Will be the only time I have it. They change it that often. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, first of all, it was rainy. It was rainy yesterday. No surprise, it's raining right now, pretty much. So on a rainy day, I wanted soup, and they had the soup special they had was clam and shrimp chowder, which I love chowder. I love really New England clam chowder and French onion soup are like the 2 soups of choice for me. So really any chowder will work, no matter what seafood is in it. And, it was amazing. And it came with oyster crackers too. Love oyster crackers. You gotta have oyster crackers with chowder. Well, really, I'm okay with having saltine crackers with chowder, but you want oyster crackers. Oyster crackers feel legit. You know what I mean? And it came in like, those like giant bowl. It's like a giant bowl where it's like this big all around, but like in the center, like in the center, that's where the actual bowl is, and the rest looks like a giant plate or something. It's the first time I've ever eaten out of the thing like that, and it was fun. I've never seen that before. And what I got, a ribeye steak, a nice 16-ouncer, very good. Bone in too. It was a bone-in ribeye. For the record, the thing about having it bone in is it's supposed to taste better, which, personally, I've heard it several ways, like the jury being out on it. Some people have actually proven that the bone is better. Listen, man, I grew up in a household where my options were nothing like it. I'll pretty much eat anything, bone in or no bone. So, needless to say, if I do ever eat a bone-in ribeye or any kind of bone-in steak, I'll cut the meat off of the bone as best I can first, gnaw on the bone, and then immediately go to the steak. Because, let's be honest, no one wants to see me. Well, actually, there's technically nothing wrong with eating meat off of the bone. Actually, seriously, there really is nothing inappropriate or poor etiquette related if you eat meat off of the bone in a fine dining restaurant. In fact, it's actually encouraged. And some people say it's even a little sexy. And, a decent looking fella such as myself would want to be sexy every now and again, wouldn't they? Okay. I should probably stop there. At least about eating the bones. But steak was cooked, perfect medium rare. It came with like a tomato chutney on top of it. Never had that before. It was very good. Came with green beans. My side was fries, steak and fries. Always a great combination. And it was a great meal altogether. But then we saw Are You There, Gatsby, Margaret with my mom and dad. And my mom and dad came a little late because at the last minute my brother wanted to see him. So they missed like the first 10-15 minutes of the movie, give or take. But everything else was pretty solid. I mean, there were times I still laughed my head off. Seriously, both times I've seen this movie, I was legit cackling like an idiot. And I mean that in the best way. Seriously, you should go see Are You There, Gatsby, Margaret. It's amazing. And literally the best thing about seeing a movie like this with my mom and dad, the best part about that was, again, this movie takes place in the 70s, which was the decade that, my parents were getting older. They were still kids, but it wouldn't be long until they were teenagers. They were like 9, 10 years old when the events of this movie would take place. Obviously, it's based on a book, but, bear with me. So, as we're leaving the theater, because, needless to say, my mom loved this movie. As for my father, you know what? It takes a lot to impress him, but first of all, I could hear him laughing in several scenes of the movie. So when he was all done, I was like, that was very good. I liked it. Seriously, listen, my parents are legit old school as you can get. Like, old school, white collar, like, I hate to say the word conservative, but yeah, that's what they are. I hate saying that word because it sort of dictates like they belong to a certain political party, which I am also part in. The difference is I personally know to keep my mouth shut about that. Not that there's anything wrong with whatever political party you're in. It's just, listen. I'm a believer in horseshoe theory, okay? For those of you who don't know what horseshoe theory is, it's that the people of the far left, by the way, it's probably, from your point of view, it's looking like I'm holding my right hand. This is my left hand. People of the far left, people of the far right, actually have more in common with one another than the people closer to the middle. Actually, it's exactly, because like a horseshoe, a real horseshoe is like, it goes up, but then like sort of meets closer to the middle, like that sort of analogy. So yeah, that's why it's called horseshoe theory, which again I have subscribed to. Again, admittedly I do lean to the right, but I keep my mouth shut. You ask me about any sort of political beliefs, it's gonna fly right over my head, because I don't want to ruin. Seriously, the last thing I ever want to do is ruin friendships with people because of political beliefs. Or really any kind of religious beliefs for that matter. That's why I don't talk about the fact I'm Catholic very often. Because, that's just how I was raised. Although I do believe there's nothing wrong with whatever you're raised as. Nothing wrong with that. Which is another lesson that Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret sort of, entails. Because one of the main plots of the movie is, because of the debate with Margaret's Catholic grandparents not wanting anything to do with their daughter because she married a Jewish man, they decide, what, we're going to let Margaret not really be religiously involved and have her decide when she's older. Which is actually a very mature approach to go about doing things. Even for that time. Even now. Even in today's society, most people nowadays are like, listen, you're this religion and that's it. Occasionally you're going to get, parents that, one happens to be, Christian, the other Jewish, and they celebrate both holidays, or they only celebrate one set of holidays, or whatever. So, honestly, this movie does a great job at practicing, like, here's the thing, it practices religious tolerance, but not in the way you'd expect. Because near the end, it really does show, like, the dark side of how bad religion can be. There's a really great joke I once heard from Billy Gardell, where he said he wants his son to believe in God. Which, you know what? I believe in God. When did that become uncool? Seriously. He said, like, when did that become uncool, man? And then he says, the older I get, the more I believe in God, but the less I believe in religion. Religion is actually where the problems really are. And you know, he's absolutely right. Because every so often you get two people of different faiths saying, with one saying, my story is better than your story. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. And then conflicts ensue. I never want that. Listen, I went to Trinity Poly, okay? There are people, many different people of different race, religion, nationality, you name it. And yeah, there are times that we argued, but nothing over politics or religion. If anything, people got in fights and arguments because it was an all-boys prep school, man. We're guys being guys. You know, that's just how it worked. You know, we bust each other's chops because, you know, that's what guys do. Which is why I've always subscribed to the theory of you need both men and women in your life. Because if it's just men, you're going to get like a bunch of idiots that, you know, act, you know, stupid. You do. At the same time, though, you also need women in your life to balance that out. But if you just have only women, and, well, keep in mind, this would really only apply if you're a guy like me and you have just women in your life, you could potentially be a little confused as to what you're going to be. Nothing wrong with whatever you decide, there's nothing wrong with that. But you need men to give you direction too. So there's a lot of give and take. Seriously, I really could go on and on with just how smart a story, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, is. And you know, I didn't really say this enough yesterday, but Abby Ryder Fortson, you know, call me crazy, but come Oscar season, come award season, if she doesn't get any kind of nomination for her performance in this movie, that is insane. That is completely insane. Because that girl just proves she is a star through and through. She makes this movie. And don't get me wrong, you have actresses like Rachel McAdams and Kathy Bates, and they do a great job in this movie too. In fact, I could see either one of those two getting supporting actress nods, which I hope they do. I mean, Kathy Bates has won an Oscar already, so maybe Rachel McAdams could get Best Supporting Actress for the Oscars. Maybe. Because the movie does a great job of making the story also about her as well. Seriously, I could make like a week's worth of videos talking about Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, and I still don't think I'd be able to penetrate the surface. So, needless to say, if you've never seen Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, seriously, go see it, please. It still has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. A 99%. A movie that good doesn't come by very often. It's as if it fell from the sky. Go watch it, please. Seriously, even if nothing else happens for the rest of this weekend, I'd still say this weekend was already pretty eventful. Although there is something I might do tonight. But I'll let you in on that later. I hope I like this video. If you did like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very homely, so for all you guys watching Joe, but we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, we'll be here to lend the mail. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.